doing some research into the forest pillars. It seems they've been here for longer than any other known ruins, except for maybe the catacombs. Myth says these pillars were once linked to some type of planetary observation system. Very mysterious. Let's see if those items you found in the wasteland will activate and unlock their secrets.
What's up, good people? Anansi here, and welcome back to Jak 3. And the last one, we went on an artifact hunt for the forest ruin components. And this one, we're going to go ahead and head to the forest ruins and handle this right now to see what's going on. Also, if you heard back there, I don't think I brought this up yet. I might have brought it up. But in Jak 3, the voice actress for Kira Hagai, which actually is her last name because Samus' name is Samus Hagai, the voice actress changed. The voice actress for Kira is now Tara Strong. She's also the voice actress for Seam, which is why if you pay very close attention, you can hear a little bit of her Omi from Shaolin Showdown in both characters. With Kira, you hear a little bit of her. I think her most recent role was Twilight Princess from Twilight Sparkle from My Little Pony. I believe that was her most recent role. But I recognize that voice specifically from her Raven voice in Teen Titans, because it's pretty much just that voice played at a slightly higher octave. And can I just say right now, I don't think it's going to happen, but Tara Strong, if you're listening, I don't know what happened to your voice as a kid to make you be this versatile, but keep it up. Anyway, let's get to it. But yeah, no, Kira's voice changed. This mission. Okay, this mission is pretty much a kind of chill mission. All you gotta do is you just gotta, I believe you hit the nose here, and then you have to follow the ring. So, there we go. Yeah, you just gotta do that. It's pretty much just like a little race kind of thing. So, as long as you're just on it, you'll be fine. It's not a hard one. But yeah, no, Akira's voice actress changed to Tara Strong in this one. Which is why, if you pay very close attention to Jak 3, it's actually one of my big criticisms. I failed. I already failed. What do we try? Yeah, I'll admit, that turn always gets me. But if you note after the first act, when we first got into Haven City, and met with Samus, you would note that Kira's voice, and I might have noted this when it happened, but you note that Kira didn't say anything. She actually was silent the entire time while Samus talked to Jak. And you would think the guy that she has a crush on, I think at this point it's just infatuation. You would think that she'd have something to say to him after, essentially letting him. There we go. Yeah, exploded in dark ego. Okay. You'd think she would have something to say to him. Having seen him come back from the wasteland, but you're not certain if he would be alive or not. But no, she doesn't say anything. She just kind of sits there with a very, sad look on her face. That's because I believe the voice actress for Kira at the time was unavailable. If my memory serves correctly. I remember I read into it a while ago. Like a long time ago. But yeah, no, I believe Kira's voice actress, her original voice actress that had been the voice actress for Jak and Daxter and Jak 2, was unavailable at the time. And I think that boils down to either a contract dispute, or they just couldn't get her back. Like either she didn't want to do the voice again, or maybe she retired or something. But I remember she was unavailable, so they still have to make that scene. And Jak 3 was pushed out in less than a year. Like between Jak 2 and 3, it's only been a year, so they really couldn't afford to delay to find a voice actress. They just so happened to luck out and get Tara Strong near the tail end of it. So that's why Kira's I should have done the high jump there, but I keep forgetting that I have that ability. That's why Kira didn't say anything earlier. And now that she's here, she has a much more engaged speaking role compared to earlier in the script. But it also boils down to, unless I'm mistaken, I could be mistaken, it boils down mostly to exposition. Like Kira, I messed up again. Oh man, I'm not good at the grinding thing. Is there a checkpoint? Yes, there's a checkpoint. Okay. Kira in Jak 3 is mostly exposition. When you compare, and make no mistake, I still think Tara Strong is a very, very fine voice actress. You have to listen to a lot of her roles, Omi, Raven, even the one I think she did, it was Juliet Starling in Lollipop Chainsaw. If she has to do funny, she can do funny. She has to do serious, she can do serious. She is very good at her job. And she makes exposition sound interesting. She does. But where she shines as Kira is not in Jak 3. It's actually in Jak X. I wouldn't know about, I messed that up again! They gotta be right on that rail there. Ooh, boy. But where she shines at is in Jak X, because Kira has a more emotional range in Jak X. Okay, nope. I'm not going on that one. And I want to say that's due to the fact that they couldn't find a voice actress for her in time, and they weren't, and I'm fairly certain they were not confident they'd find a good one. And B, they had to write the story going forward, so that's why Kira doesn't show up very often inside the opening of the game. But when they got Tara Strong, they decided to make up for that time, and they had Kira do a lot of exposition. Okay, got it. There we go. Come on. Yeah, there we go. Nope. Yes. Oh man, that was very close. That was very close. And as a result, yeah, I mean, the performance will speak for itself. Tara Strong's one of the few people that I feel like can make exposition seem interesting. But it also goes to show that they didn't have a lot of time to really flesh out her role inside this story. Hence why Jak 3 is one of the more Jak 3 is one of those interesting games for me. I think I said it beforehand. While it is definitely one of my favorites of all time, I think it is a high point. I definitely think it's the peak of the platforming genre for at least for Jak's platforming career in the game series. Narratively speaking, it does lack a little bit, and I think that's due to the 1-year turnaround that they had for this game. And once again, it's amazing they got done what they got done in 1 year. It is amazing they got done what they got done in 1 year. But you can't help but wonder if they had just, another year to really knock this out. Time to maybe get Kira's original voice actress, or maybe time to actually get Tara Strong early in the development. They might have been able to give Kira a more fleshed out role. Because as it stands, if you really pay attention to Kira's role in here, she doesn't really have the same emotional range that she had inside Jak and Daxter and Jak 2. Because in Jak and Daxter, she was sassy as sassy can get, as well as intelligent. Jak 2, same thing, but she was also very apprehensive to Jak's new demeanor, as well as very scared of the guy that she knew growing up, and the guy she had got a crush on is very much a murderous psychopath. Messed him up again. But in Jak X, that Kira is very much back and in full force, and that's why I cannot wait to get to that game, because it really shows that the character of Kira, this is another role that Tara made her own. Which is why I'm hoping if they ever do make a Jak 4, which I think they might, at the time of this recording, they haven't announced anything, and I just messed it up again because I'm running my mouth too much. But yeah, at the time of this recording, they have not announced a Jak 4, but about a year ago, they limit. Did I really mess up on the second one? My oh my oh my. About a year ago on Limited Run Games, I believe it was. Limited Run Games had done a limited run of the 4 Naughty Dog Jak and Daxter titles. It was Jak and Daxter, Jak 2, Jak 3, and Jak X. Now, I don't remember the exact details. Oh, come on, I jumped there. Okay. I could have sworn I jumped there. Now, I don't remember the exact details of the specs of Jak and Daxter, Jak 2, and Jak 3, and Jak X on the because there's a physical release, and you can look it up online. You look up Jak and Daxter limited run games. They go for ridiculous prices now because, you know, people are scalpers and no one can have fun because of them. But yeah, you can get them. It's like this, like, oh, come on. Yeah, if you miss a single jump, you're not getting it. If I miss a jumping, if I miss this again, I'm gonna shut up and just do the mission because this is ridiculous. But yeah, no, with but you get physical, you got physical PS4 copies of the games as well as some artwork, I believe, and I want to say a special collector's item. I don't know what it was, but okay, I'm gonna shut up and actually just do the mission because this is ridiculous. Alright, there we go. Finally got that taken care of. But yeah, with that, yeah, like I said, they recently had a announcement of the. Well, I'll tell you after we get through this cutscene because I feel like we're going to need the time to do this. Momentum.
Approach the Astro Viewer, Time Warrior. Behold the seed of our destruction.
What? Let me see! Is she hot?
We precursors built many worlds across the universe, shaping them with Eco into something good. But we were foolish. The Dark Makers were once precursors, but their exposure to Dark Eco changed them. They began twisting worlds, conquering life, and dark ages ensued. Now the Dark Ones have found your world and are coming to claim it for themselves.
Well, I could ruin your whole day!
I think this one's bigger than both of us.
There is but one hope left. You will find a planetary defense system hidden deep at the core of the planet. There is still a chance to save your world. I hope you are more successful than many planets whose fate has already been closed.
I heard. This is as we feared. We must get into those catacombs before that ship reaches this planet.
So yeah, we just found out that there's apparently Dark Eco corrupted precursors coming to destroy us, which was hinted at with the Dark Eco statue in the ruins very early on in the game. I think I hinted at dark, dark precursors and whatnot. The Dark Makers are big precursors who were twisted by Dark Ego, and we learned that apparently the precursors were a spacefaring species. So it's a pretty interesting thing to find out that it's like, oh yeah, Jack's planet was not the only one shaped by Eco. They were not the only precursors that visited. You don't know which one and number of them that they were, but it was the only one. Okay, so the map comes up here pretty soon. There we go. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and head to the next mission, but I'm going to let's call the part there when we get there. But yeah, no, but yeah, that's pretty interesting to find out that the precursors were a spacefaring race, and we might not, and now we have to deal with essentially evil precursors trying to destroy the planet, and there's a planetary defense system that can stop them. Interesting. But yeah, no, but yeah, I was trying to get out earlier before I gave up trying to speak and just did the mission. At the time of this recording, Limited Run Games this was a year ago, had done a limited release of Jacks 1, 2, 3, and X on PS4. And you might be wondering, why does this lead into a Jack 4 being possibly done? Well, before Naughty Dog decided against doing a Jack 4, they decided against it. They didn't feel like they had anything new to add, and they wanted to not do it, and they didn't feel like they could. They didn't feel like they had the enthusiasm to do it. Well, before they put a lid on that Jack 4 idea, they actually had concept art done of a new Jak and Daxter, and if you look it up online, it's very interesting. It actually it's very beautiful, very well done. I would not have minded playing a game that if it looked like that, I would not have minded at all. Also, as you can see, we're going through the slums, and I believe if you try to go visit the old slums, the old Rebel HQ, I don't think it exists anymore. I think it doesn't exist anymore. As a matter of fact, I believe, if I remember so correctly, it used to be over here, and it's gone now. So yeah, that's that. Because I remember the old HQ was right next to the entrance to the slums and the other quarters. But yeah, going back to that, what's the word I'm looking for here? And that's the concept art. Well, yeah, the limited run release. If you had done the limited run and bought all of the all of the special editions on limited run games, you would get a special pre-order bonus of, and you only get this if you order them all through limited run. You couldn't like order one off limited run and get the other two off eBay. You had to get it all off limited run. You would get a special copy of a PS4 case that had concept art for Jak 4. And you might be wondering, well, why is that significant? It looks like they just did. Well, for that and a live wallpaper for your PS4. You might be wondering, why is that significant? It just sounds like they just took old concept art and put it in the package. Well, you got it for free, for one thing, if you ordered all 4. So technically not free, but still free. That makes any sense. And because at the time, and people might forget about this, at the time, the Spiral Trilogy remake, and the Crash Bandicoot Trilogy remake did phenomenally well. So much so that Crash Bandicoot 4, well, Crash Team Racing got a remake as well as a result, which was a precursor, see what I did there, to Jak X. Because a lot of the mechanics used in Jak X were used in Crash Team Racing. Let's see if I can't get up. I'm gonna try to get up here. There we go. But yeah, as a result, we'll say that again. As a result of that, Crash Bandicoot is actually getting an official 4th game, in the original style. Crash had 3 sequels to the original trilogy after Naughty Dog gave the series up to another developer. They had, I think it was Traveler's Tale. I think it was Traveler's Tales who did it. Who did the next 2? But yeah, I believe Crash Bandicoot had 3 sequels and a crossover with Spyro on the Game Boy. And because the success of the Crash trilogy, they are making an official 4th game to Crash Bandicoot, and I believe they're making an official 4th game to, well, a continuation anyway, to Spyro. I believe they're doing that too. So there is possibility that we might see a realized Jak 4 in the near future, and if that's the case, I am excited. Nothing's been announced at this time, but a man can dream. At any rate, I've been Anansi. You've been awesome. I hit the dark check button by mistake because what you do. And I will catch you later. Deuces.